Fernandez's ego and his so-called winning mindset is going to cost the Brooklyn Nets everything in the 2026 NBA draft. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of BKNY Hoops. If you're new to the channel, I'm your host as always, Rashid White. All right, let's get into it. You guys see the graphics. You see the actual title of the show. Sean Marks and Jody Fernandez on the same page because Jody Fernandez, so-called, actually wants to win games, and I don't know how he's going to do it with this roster. The Nets are probably one of the last teams in the league, and let's say miraculously he actually really can get this team to win, right, or make a playoff seeding. It's only going to really get them knocked out in the first round, going up against one of the top teams like Orlando, the Knicks. I mean, it's going to be a sweep. So, Sean Marks, what we were told by Sean Marks when they hired Jody Fernandez is to actually develop talent, right? Develop these players, and none of these guys are going to be, and especially like the rookies that they actually drafted, are going to be all-stars. But what you could do is like really develop these guys into solid role players. And it seems like Jody Fernandez, with him benching Yegor in the Boston game, like if he makes a mistake, he takes him out the game, and not playing Danny Wolf. I don't know what's going on over here, man, but you can see in this article, and I think people in the media, it's not really understanding that, like AJ Dybansta, like Cameron Boozer, Darren Peterson, like these guys are the prize. You cannot take a bunch of role players and have them go up against superstar players. So let me just go into this article. This is from like 4 or 5 days ago. And I don't know if this was a Jody Fernandez comment. And Jody Fernandez was even saying, I want to win games. I want to win games. Yeah, I get it, right? His coaching career. But you need players. You need high-level guys. So, like think of this team right now as a rec team. Like these guys in terms of like professional basketball are equivalent to like 7th and 8th graders, and you're going to have to develop these guys and teach them actually how to play, and they're going to have to develop like skills. So let's go into this article real quick. And it says over here, Devin has plenty of knowledge to gain about playing on both ends on the floor as an NBA point guard. He seems to be developing under Fernandez, even if he's like not finishing games. Devin has had his issues with ball security. He's averaging 1.7 turnovers per game, but it seems like Fernandez is willing to let Devin learn on the job, but not at the expense of closing winnable games. And what happens when you take him out the game like that for making mistakes, you mess up his confidence, and now he's overthinking. Now he's just let me see what Jody Fernandez actually had to say. This was his. Well, we don't have to really get into that because he all you guys pretty much heard this. This was from like 3 or 4 days ago. But you cause them to not play instinctual basketball. Now they gotta overthink the game. They gotta look over their shoulders, and they're afraid to make mistakes, and they're not playing instinctual basketball, man. So Jody Fernandez, your job over here was to develop these guys, and I'm not saying you gotta get them into like all-star players, but if you can get like Nolan Troyer, if you can get him to like be a good, like, let's say backup point guard or like a third string point guard that give you solid minutes for like 15, 20 something minutes, that's a win-win right there. And you look at like like in the course of an NBA like season, all the injuries. I mean, you need all the firepower that you can actually get, man. So AJ Dybansta really is the prize. And like I said, I don't know who wrote this over here. This is from Yahoo Sports, but they should be saying exact thing that I'm saying is that really to play these guys like putting Nolan Troyer and Danny Wolf in the G League is not going to really help them, man. You know, it's going to really hinder them because you got to let these guys, you know, get adjusted to the NBA, get adjusted to the actual physicality of the NBA, get adjusted to the length, you know, how so that's what they're going to have to do that. You're not going to get that in the G League. The difference between G League players and most of the G League players, right? Most of those guys aren't going to play in the NBA, man. They're not playing in the NBA. Then, you know, how you actually get better as a basketball player? By going up against the top guys, right? So that they, so I think Jody Fernandez is like just really making a mistake by not like having Danny Wolf playing right now. He said, "Oh, I know Noah Clowney. You know, I don't know Danny Wolf." I mean, that's some of the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life, man. I mean, we seen Noah Clowney. Like, Noah Clowney is not going to be an all-star. You know, yes, can he defend better than a Danny Wolf? He can, but like, let's say if you had Noah Clowney and Jokic on the same team. Yeah, Noah Clowney in terms of his lateral movement can guard better, right? He can switch on to guards versus like what a Nikola Jokic can. But like, are we going to start are we going to start Noah Clowney over like Jokic in that type of scenario? No. You know, like, come on, man. Like, seriously. All right, so definitely like, comment, subscribe, and certainly share this video. And when you share, the universe certainly shares back with you. Peace.